Tonight, we're taking a closer look at a part of the country suffering a 1-2 punch in the middle of this pandemic. America's oil fields. We've reported on the historic drop in crude oil prices. At one point, the price fell to a shocking negative $37 a barrel. But beyond the numbers, the collapse in oil has had devastating consequences for so many people whose livelihoods are now in jeopardy. ABC's Marcus Moore brings us this story of the hard-hit area trying to cope with the fallout.
By the time the sun rises over West Texas, many of the pump jacks that dot the bare terrain have already been working overnight. And what they bring from deep below the surface has made dreams possible.
It's made lots of dreams come true. Certainly made mine come true.
But today, for so many, their dreams are on hold.
Nobody that I knew saw this coming.
The price of oil right now, I mean, it's killing us. It's absolutely killing us.
How long can you forecast I can hang on? And I mean, that's the unknown.
Tonight, the story of a perfect storm, an unprecedented collapse in the price of oil mixed with a pandemic that's claimed lives and gutted the global demand for crude, putting livelihoods in jeopardy amidst an uncertain future.
Now you're looking at millions of dollars worth of equipment just sitting here. You get millions and millions of dollars worth of paperweights. Obviously not making any money if it's sitting here.
Jesse Lane is the chief operator of NIMBLE Crane in Pecos, Texas, one of the many service companies that support the oil and gas industry. However, their work has dropped off dramatically.
Planes aren't flying, cruise ships aren't sailing, buses aren't moving.
Lane says there were signs of trouble long before the pandemic hit. An international price war driving the global supply of oil up and prices down. The situation only worsened by the sudden fall in demand. Lane says a simple drive makes it all clear. Just a couple of months ago, there was near gridlock from trucks heading to drilling sites passing through this four-way stop in Orla, Texas.
This is Orla, Texas today. That same intersection virtually empty. It is perhaps the most vivid illustration of how this economic slowdown has impacted this community and so many others across West Texas.
When you look at it sitting here and you get knocked back 2 years, it's depressing.
Just like a switch, it all changed. He's had to lay off dozens of workers.
To have to tell someone, one of your employees, that they're no longer working, I know that must be the hardest thing you've ever had to do.
The guys that work here, they know when it's busy, they know when it's slow. So when you call somebody into your office when it's slow, they know that's probably what's happening. And when you have to tell them that they have to go home with no job, it's very, very tough. Very, very tough. Toughest thing I do.
We have no choice but things to go up.
Mike Bowman is a crane operator. He's one of the few still employed. He travels back and forth between West Texas and Alabama, staying in a small camper on company property. Today, he's packing to head back home, knowing full well the possibility he might not get called back if things get worse.
At any point, the owners could show up and say, hey, look, we just can't afford to do this anyway. And I understand that. I mean, you're trying to run a business, you're trying to make money, you're not trying to lose money.
You've got, a $100,000 investment in each one of these things parked.
That is an eventuality Bob Stewart vows to avoid, his welding company in Andrews, Texas.
My granddad started this business 77 years ago.
He and his wife Denise bought the company from his grandfather in 1997.
Oh, yeah.
They've weathered ups and downs before, but this one is admittedly different. The stunning fall in April, the price of a barrel of oil dipped to negative $37.
When I saw it go negative, I told Denise that night, I said, we're not going to have a job tomorrow, not one.
Albeit slightly, prices have edged back up.
I never thought I'd be happy to see $2 oil.
But Stewart grapples with the pressing questions about how he will ensure his business survives, how to keep workers here employed well into the future.
That's the frightening part for me, Marcus, is the guy that has to make these decisions for 110 people that are employed here. And that, I mean, if I make bad decisions, try to guide us forward, and we fail, we all fail.
Here, they've all agreed to take pay cuts to keep the company afloat until things turn around.
How many households are you picking up for?
Some oil and gas workers who just months ago sat in traffic to reach the oil fields are now in line at food giveaways like this one in Odessa.
When the oil price is dropping and coronavirus, it had just been one or the other, it wouldn't be so bad, but with both of them hitting, it's destroyed.
Stacy Collins told us he hasn't worked in over a month.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I was gonna say, what has that been like, man?
Dying.
Like so many across the country, the food bank here expects the lines to potentially get even longer.
It's everything. It runs from somebody who makes $20 an hour to somebody who makes $200,000 a year doesn't have a job. And that is huge. And until the glut, until oil gets better, we're not going to be any better. We will continue to struggle.
There is a burning question here. When will it improve? And what will the industry look like afterwards? Stewart, who's been around this industry for decades, doesn't know, nor does anyone else we met here in West Texas.
How long is this going to last?
It's the $100,000 question, isn't it?
Hi! Good to see you!
But in the face of real pain and uncertainty, there is hope in a new day as the sun sets once again on these fields in West Texas.
I don't know what it looks like. I'm sure we're all going to have some scars and some scrapes and some nicks and bruises, maybe 10 pounds lighter, but we're going to come out and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll have some scars and bruises, no doubt, but we will come out. Marcus joins us now. Marcus, towns like this are really hurting because they're so dependent on the oil industry. But even if things do start to reopen, the demand is unlikely to be there because so many people are out of work, right?
Yeah, that's right, Lindsay. You know, oil and gas, it's the lifeblood of the economy here in West Texas. And then the feeling from people here is that even when the stores and the shops and restaurants and movie theaters open back up, there are still a lot of people who won't be able to go to those places because they don't have jobs. And that's one of the things that makes this current situation unique, because in downturns in the past, obviously the oil industry has been through the ups and downs over the decades, but in the past, the workers could perhaps simply go to another state like North Dakota or Alaska to do the same work. But right now, there simply are no jobs, so they can't go anywhere. And that is what is making this so difficult. And Jesse Lane, the gentleman who we met, who operates the crane company in Pecos, Texas, you know, he said that as people across the country are celebrating the lower gas prices, he hopes they remember that there are families that are struggling because of those low gas prices, and they are all hoping that they will have some relief soon.
Marcus, our thanks so much to you and the entire team for putting that piece together for us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.